Hey everyone, so welcome back to an episode of Create with Linda. Today I'm really excited, guys, because it's Tuesday. Talk about it Tuesday. I know I'm strange, guys. This is a new thing that I'm going to be doing. What is this piece of hair sticking out? Hello, get back in there. I'll tell you guys, this hair is so hard to manage. It's not. I mean, it's not easy to manage this curly hair. So yes, today is the new beginning start of Talk About It Tuesday. Now, guys, there are some rules first that I'm going to say before I even spout out a word, okay? I put some lipstick on. How do you think it looks, guys? Let's talk about it. Oh, I'm losing it. All right, the rules of this is, okay, if you guys, I'm saying this because if you guys comment, which I want you guys to comment on things that I'm saying, things that I'm talking about, whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, that's fine. It doesn't matter. If you don't like what I'm talking about, you can click off. You know that it's not going to be anything controversial. It's going to be all light stuff, about my situations, about the situations that's going on in the world. Number one, I'm not talking about politics. I told you that before. No politics whatsoever. No, and no. That's out. Okay? Unfortunately, it has to be out because this world is just too crazy about all that right now. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you comment, if you comment, guys, please be kind. Be respectful of other people's opinions. Everybody has their own opinion and is allowed their own opinion on any subject, and you just agree to disagree, and that's it. Because if I get any negative comments or any mean comments or anything, I'll delete it. And not only that, but I won't even do this anymore. I want to do it to have fun and to get some knowledge, maybe help each other and all that, and knowledge of, it's going to be all kinds of different stuff, guys. Stuff that's going on in the world, stuff that's going on with the movie stars, or just with me personally, or somebody else, or a statement that I've heard, or just a whole bunch of things, guys. And, it's going to be kind of ranty. I'm sure it'll be kind of ranty, guys, because, it tends to get a little ranty, but, I just wanted you guys to know that. And also, guys, in anything that I say, I'm not an expert. I'll tell you if I'm an expert in it, but I'm not. These are my opinions, my thoughts. So, I didn't, read it in a book, or I didn't, I'll tell you if I read it in a book, if it's a statement that I read in a book or whatever. But what I'm saying is these are all my opinions. Nothing, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not all of that. Okay, I'm just me, myself, Linda. So, whatever I say is just in my own opinion and my what's the word? The way I see it, guys, okay? Everybody sees things different ways. Their opinions are different, so that's what I'm going to say, okay? Remember, guys, I said again, be kind. Be kind, okay? Now, with saying that, I have some little things jotted down here because this is my first time doing this, and there are some things that I want to talk about today. What I'm talking about today is on Talk About It Tuesday. A whole bunch of things today. Struggles in life. My own personal struggles, the struggles of other people that I assume other people have, that other people do go through. Okay, number one thing, guys, is, let me see what I want to start with. Okay. Guys, the stigma of people that have depression and people that have mental illness is just horrible. I've experienced it in my life. I have felt bad about myself because of it. I have shunned myself, if that makes any sense, because of it. And I'm just here to tell you guys, and I'm not embarrassed to say, maybe I would have been 10 years ago to say this, but I really have been in therapy a very, 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 very long time, guys. And I am not ashamed to say it. Let me tell you something about therapy, okay? Therapy for me, guys, okay, for me, means freedom. Freedom to speak my truth, guys. To speak. You know, where's my pen? Give me a second. Where's my pen? Because these are the things, I left my, oh, here it is. These are the things, guys, that I want to write down, that I remember. Because these are really important things. This isn't scripted, okay? I'm going off just what's in my head, in my heart, and what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing is my truth. Okay, my truth. Okay. My truth is, guys, that depression has almost ruined my marriage. It's almost ruined my family. It's almost ruined my life. There were times, guys, and I would literally, when I was younger and married, a few years, we had our first, we had Jennifer. Most people won't even know this, but I would literally, I would lay in my bed. Now, I had a young daughter. Yes, Jennifer was young. And I think I had Julie too. I think I had all 3 kids at this point. Yes, I would lay in my bed, guys, and cocoon myself. That's what my husband would call it, cocoon. Under my blanket. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to function. I didn't want to take a shower. I didn't want to do anything, guys. I had this feeling in my gut that I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's undescribable. Like, if you go through depression and anxiety, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Those people who have it know what I'm talking about. It's an undescribed knot in your stomach that doesn't go away. It's like a sense of dread. That's how I could always explain my depression, was I dreaded getting up. I dreaded going out. You know, now this was, I have to say, it wasn't 100% of the time. There would be times when I'd be better and times when didn't want to function. But it would go through like spurts. It would go through like, you know, and a lot of it was situational. I think stuff brought it on, but then it just continued, and then it got into this depression. And at that point right there, guys, I didn't want to help myself. I wouldn't accept help. I didn't want to go to therapy. I didn't want to get medicine. I didn't want to do anything. Until I was ready to do that is when I started to get better. You know what I mean? So I did actually go, wait a minute, I did go to therapy because my mother begged me to go to therapy. And that, you know, started opening up. And I think that's when I started getting better, when all the stuff just started coming out, when Jennifer was young. And like, I went to therapy because of her disability, you know, having her and, you know, being 23 years old and having our first daughter and our first child, and her having a disability was devastating to us, was life-changing. Give me 1 second, let me take a sip of drink. I had a lot of issues, guys. A lot of issues. And, you know, like I said, I spent a lot of days under the covers. And I have to tell you, no matter what somebody says to you, like everybody can say, or my husband would say, my poor husband, he would say, what's wrong? What can I do? How can I fix it? What can I do for you? And there's nothing that anybody can do for you. Not only that, guys, but you have people asking you what's wrong. And you 100% truthfully don't know. You don't know what's wrong. You just know something's wrong. Like, you're just off. Your whole body and mental state is just off. But you don't know. You can't really specify. If that's not even a word. You can't pinpoint it. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, and it's very frustrating to the spouse or to the parent or to the sibling or whoever, because they don't know how to help you, and they want to help you, but they can't help you. And it's really, really a very, very frustrating disease and very, very hard thing. And the reason I'm talking about this stigma so much is because I want to help people. I want people to know that therapy is okay. It's okay. When I began therapy, my therapist, who I loved to death, she was my first therapist who changed my life. She used to beg me, Linda, please try medication. It's not, no, I'm afraid, no, I don't want to be on medication. That's terrible. I fought her for like 3 years, guys. And then I couldn't take it anymore because I was just, even with her help, I needed something to have some relief, to feel better. I couldn't function. So I finally went to a psychiatrist, because psychologists, they don't give you medicine, as you know. Psychiatrists, because they're doctors, they do. So I went to a psychiatrist, I got medication, and it started to make me really feel better. It really did. It wasn't quick, but it started to make me feel better. And I realized, you know what, listen, I'm not embarrassed to be on this. This is a mental disease. That's something chemical in your brain that you can't control. That you really can't control. I mean, yes, you can try to help yourself as much as you can, but you can only do so much mentally and physically and emotionally and all of that to help yourself. So you need help with medication to help you along. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. And I'm here to tell you that I'm here to help help you guys and say that it's okay. Go to therapy. It's like having a best friend that you can talk to and know that when you walk out that door, nothing is ever said. You could be your true self. Just imagine, guys, how that could feel. When you walk into a room, well, today you're going to talk on the phone or you're going to do Zoom or whatever right now, and just be able to say what you want and really, really just tell them how you feel about truths that you wouldn't tell anybody, truths about yourself that set you free, guys. Set you free, literally. I'm getting emotional because it really, really, really does set you free. It sets you free. There are things that you know about yourself and that you feel about yourself that you don't want to tell anybody else. Maybe even your best friend or your husband or your mother or your spouse. Whatever. There are truths that you don't want anybody to know but yourself. But if you tell somebody who you trust and you get feedback on how that feels and how, that's freeing, guys. It's freeing. And that's why I'm stressing this, because getting help for depression and anxiety is freeing. Okay, freeing, because you don't, depression, like I said, guys, I'm going to say it again. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on anything, okay? I'm really not. I'm not an expert, but the only expertise I have is my own experience, guys. So my own experience is that I know that there are things that were inside of me from, whether it's childhood or whether it's from a friend or whether it's being bullied, whatever it is, guys, there were things inside of me that were in here that were eating me up alive, that I didn't even really realize that I had such animosity and such anger and such despair over it, that when you start to talk about it, and then like if you say, oh yeah, well, my mother used to, hold me in the lock me in the bathroom with the door handle closed and laugh about it and everything else, and you don't realize, wow, when the therapist says to you, so that's why you have these insecurities, or that's why you're afraid of the dark, or that's why, and you're like, ding, 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 a light bulb goes off, and then you're not crazy. You're not crazy, and you begin to like yourself, because when you have those feelings inside of you that you think you're not good enough, you're not superior, you're not respected, you're not whatever, those begin to make you angry inside and to make you hateful and to make you have an angry heart sometimes. And when you free that up, guys, the thing is, you don't even know it until you get into therapy. You don't even know it. There are things that I went through in my childhood. Now, let me tell you something. I'm not here to bash my mother, my father, my siblings, my friends, my whoever, my extended family. I'm not here to bash anybody, okay? But everybody has a past. And everybody has things they go through in lives. Nobody has a perfect family. Nobody has perfect siblings, perfect parents. Everybody's doing the best that they can. I know my mother and father did the best that they can, what they knew how to do. And I don't begrudge anything for them and hate anybody. But there are reasons why certain things happen in your life. There are reasons why you feel so dead inside or you feel so bad about yourself. But what I'm telling you guys is you can get better and you could feel better about yourself. And let me tell you something. I have come a long way. I am not 100% yet. I am not. I still have some work to do, guys. Admittingly, I really, really do. Okay, but I have come a long way. And I don't self-hate myself anymore, guys. I don't. I have more confidence. I stick up for myself now. I demand respect, guys. Demand. And there have been relationships in my life, okay, that I have cut out because of the way the relationship has made me feel. And I don't deserve that. I know that I deserve better. I deserve... I'm trying to think. Everybody deserves it, guys. Everybody deserves peace and respect and consideration and love and unconditional love, guys. Everybody deserves that. And if somebody in your life, in your circle, guys, who's not giving you that, and you've been dealing with it for years and years and being so tolerant, don't do it anymore, guys. Don't. Because you know what? You're going to feel so good when that burden is off your back. You are not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it, guys. I'm telling you, you are going to feel free like a bird who just learned how to fly. And it's going to be amazing, guys. Amazing. Okay? Amazing. I'm not going to go into too many specifics, but there have been a lot of things in my childhood that made me the person that I was. And I'm no longer that person. I'm still that person, but I have a lot more. I tell myself different things. Guys, it's all about self-talk. It's all about self-talk. And guys, there's another thing I want to say that I learned from my therapist, which is so true in my eyes, is just because I struggled with this very, very much. This was very, very difficult for me. I struggled with it. I was tortured by it, literally. Just because you have the same blood as somebody else and your family doesn't mean that you have to have a relationship with them. Because even though they still have the same blood as you and they're still family, you know, I held that to a very high standard because I grew up like that. I grew up very, very close as far as extended family and my siblings and my mother and my aunts and my uncles, and we were all very, very, very close. And it was hard because I knew that, hey, this is, you're supposed to be close to your sisters. You're supposed to have a good relationship with your whatever, you're supposed to. And I insisted on that. I wanted that so bad. But I finally realized through therapy and through so much, working on myself, that just because they're family doesn't mean that I have to have a relationship with them. Do I wish them well? 100%. Would I ever want anything to happen to them? Absolutely not. I love my family. I love my sisters. I love my brother. And I love all my extended family. And whoever I have a rift with, it's for reasons that affect me, and that I choose not to put myself in that position anymore. And until the day that I get the same respect back and stuff like that, then that's when maybe the relationships can move forward. But until then, I'm choosing not to have a relationship with certain people because of the way it makes me feel in my life. And and that's my choice. Okay, that's my choice. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But guys, I'm telling you, I promise you, if you find the right therapist, you might go into a therapist and you'll be like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. So then you try another therapist. You'll know when it's the right fit. Because I know, because I sit down or I get on the phone with her and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God. She's like, time's up. I'm like, time's up. It's just amazing, guys. It's amazing. You're going to feel so much better. You know what I mean? And just even to talk, maybe you don't need medication. Maybe maybe you just need to vent once a month. Like I haven't been going because my insurance, I had health insurance issues and with the pandemic and, all that stuff. So I haven't been going, but I was just saying to my husband yesterday, I need to get back to my lady. Like, I got to do it. I'm going to start going just once a month, just because it's like a journal. And I haven't been journaling, and I used to journal, guys. That's another thing. You guys should really journal. If you're depressed and you can't get to a therapist, or you have issues, if you want to scream at somebody, if you're angry at somebody and you just don't want to confront them, you don't have to confront them, write it down on a piece of paper, guys. Write it down and you'll see how much better you feel. As of today, after this, I'm going to start my journal again. I'm going to start from my journal somewhere in this house, and I'm going to start journaling again, guys. Because, anger and fear and anxiety and worry about what somebody else thinks of you, weighs on you. It makes you an angry person, and it makes you lash out. And I'm not saying like going to a therapist and getting on medication if you need it, or, venting or whatever is going to solve all your problems in life. No, it's not. But you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. You're gonna stand up for yourself, guys. You're gonna get the confidence you need, and you're gonna move on and move forward. And you also, by going to a therapist, learn how to cope with certain things. There have been issues in my life that I just felt like I couldn't cope with. I never honestly thought about suicide, but you could really relate to people who kind of take their life when you're depressed, because it's at that moment you're in such pain, like pain that you can't even describe, that you just want it to go away. You want it to go away, so you'll do anything to get that pain away. So that's why they say suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and it's the truth, because you don't realize in that moment it can be solved. You can be helped. There won't always be despair, but when you're in that moment, it's hard, guys. It's really, really hard. And I just, if anybody needs help, please, I want to say, reach out to somebody. Go call 211, which is a number that you can get help. I don't know, call suicide prevention, anything. Call a friend, text somebody, tell them you want to talk. Please, please, please reach out to somebody. There's somebody out there that understands and that will understand what you're feeling and what you're going through, and the despair will not last. I promise you. I promise you, guys. I was under my covers. I never thought that I would be a functional person. Like, I would say now I'm about 98%, between 90 and 100% functional. But you know what, guys? I have a lot of support. I have a husband that was always there for me, that stood behind me no matter what. Me being angry at him, me being frustrated, he dealt with everything. He took over. He did everything that needed to be done with the kids and with just, and just holding me up. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I'm not even kidding. So, love you, honey. You did that. You were the best. Always there for me. And even when he was there for me, even when he was so frustrated because he didn't know how to help me. So it's really bad for the family, because they don't know how to help you. They just don't know how to help you, guys. So I thank God. So I do have a lot of support. My kids are always there for me, but I'm seeing things now, guys, that are in my children that are coming out with my kids, my kids are adults now, that I say to myself, oh my God. Like, one of my kids will say, oh yeah, Mom. She'll mention something like, oh yeah, Mom, I know when you used to be when you used to be in the bed and Daddy used to get mad at you. I say to myself, oh my God, like, I didn't even know that they knew that. I didn't even know that they were aware of certain things that were going on when they were younger. But guys, they do. They're affected by everything. And I have a lot of guilt in that. And I do, and I feel bad that, they had to go through certain things, and, but that's life. And I think everybody has that. And, I know my mother did. You have guilt about maybe you should have did this different or that different, or you did this wrong, or I should have did this. I have that with my kids already, and they're only, young adults. So that's very normal. But you also can talk about that with your friend, with your therapist, and they can really put that all into perspective, guys. It's all about perspective. Okay, I'm going to start winding this up, but there's a couple of things I want to say first, guys. That's really, really, really going to help you. Self-talk. Self-talk is the best thing you can do and the worst thing you can do. I could put myself into oblivion. Like I could put myself into running into the street in front of a car in my mind if I wanted to. Now, I know how to stop that. I self-talk. Just for an example, I used to go to bed at night when I was having, financial issues and marriage issues or just issues in general, depression and just everything, guys. And I would lay in bed and my mind would just go a mile a minute. That I fell asleep by the grace of God because my mind was so crazy, guys. My therapist taught me, and it's practice. It takes practice, guys. It's nothing that's going to come overnight, okay? It's not going to come overnight, but you self-talk yourself. I would say, Linda, stop. It's not reality. I would make things up in my head that would be so much worse than it really was. And I learned to talk to myself and say, listen, it's bad. It's not as bad as you think. And okay, what could happen? Like if this happens, worrying about like bills and stuff, like I would be nervous, like a bill collector would call if we owed money or something like that. And my therapist would say to me, okay, Linda, so if that happened, what would be the worst that would happen? You would have to speak to them, or you would, everything has a solve. You can solve everything. You're not going to die. It's like panic attacks when you think you're going to die right at that moment. You're not. You think you're going to, and you put yourself in that crazy, I don't want to say crazy, in that, mind thought. But you can as easily turn it around. And that's what I learned to do. Again, I'm no expert, but I learned to do it. I learned to say, Linda, that's not even reality. Like, stop, like that. Just stop, just turn it off. Stop, think about other things. And I would try to think about, happier things, or just clear my mind. Just think about nothing. Think about nothing and just think, that's just ridiculous. Like that's not going to happen. And just, really talk yourself down, guys, because that's what really, really helps, okay? So, I don't know. That's all I can say, guys. All I wanted to say is that, guys, please don't judge yourself. Please don't let anybody dull your shine. Please don't let anybody's thoughts of you make you feel bad about yourself, guys. We're all not perfect. We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I have made so many mistakes, things that people had to forgive me for. And those people those people that I have hurt have forgiven me. So I don't have to worry about, I shouldn't have to worry about anybody else's outside of that circle, else's opinion of me to make me feel bad about myself. Because I already did that with myself. I already did the work. I already asked for forgiveness. So that's not for them to do. Your friend or your sibling or your aunt, or your uncle, or whoever, grandmother, grandfather, they don't have the right to make you feel bad about yourself. That's something that you already took care of within yourself and within that person. So don't let anybody do that to you guys, all right? Please don't let that happen. Again, if you need help, go reach out to somebody, guys. We're always here. I'm always here. There's so many people that understand. You're not in this alone. And everything can get better, guys. I promise you. You're looking at it. I don't have a perfect life. I don't get up every day and feel like it's roses and daffodils, because it's not. There are some days that it's black roses. And I just use these tools that I have, that the therapist has given me, the support from my family have given me, and I just try to go on and it's minute to minute. Like, guys, I'm ranting again. I literally can feel like right now I feel motivated and amazing, and I feel great, and I have so many plans to do. Literally in 5 minutes, I could go sit on the couch, and all of a sudden something comes over me, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel like doing anything. And then I lay there and I wallow for a few minutes, and then I try to get my mind into it, and I tell myself, come on, just get up. And I always said to my therapist, because she would say to me, I'd say, why do I do these things? Like, why can't I just do what I have to do? And she's like, because you don't. And I'm like, what do you mean because I don't? She's like, Linda, when you don't want to do something, that's when you get up and you do it. You force yourself to do it. Continue to do it. Get up and do it. Because by doing it makes you not do it. Not do it, if that makes sense to you. And you know what, guys? She's so right. She's so right. 98% of the time now, I do what I think I can't do or think that I don't want to do. Because when you do it, then you say to yourself, wow, that wasn't so hard. I pushed myself and I did it. You're not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to work. But the majority of the time it works, guys. And I have more good than bad days. That's all I have to say, guys. I have more good than bad days. So, guys, just remember what I said, okay? I'm not going to keep going on because I can sit here for 3 hours and talk about this. But I know you guys got things to do. You got dishes to do. You got all this other stuff to do. And so do I, guys. I got to get motivated now and go do some cooking and all that to get some more videos up for you guys. So I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have no idea how you guys have made my life so much better, guys. It makes me emotional. It's just been so great to do what I love to do, be creative, and to be on here and talk about, my issues and not be embarrassed. And, whoever sees it, sees it. And whoever judges me, you could judge me all you want. I don't, I don't, not that I don't care. I care about what people think of me and all of that, but I'm not going to let it deter me and put me in a down spiral, whatever. I do this because I love it, and it's made me so happy. And when I get on here, I feel like a different person. When I get off, I want to be on here, even with my struggles. I want to be speaking to you guys and helping people and getting feedback and just being alive. I feel alive. Like I felt dead for so long, so bad in my heart, just because of myself, not because of my husband or my kids or my mother, just because of what I felt about myself because of issues. That this is just mind-blowing, and this is, this right here is amazing, and it just makes me so happy. And I want to thank you guys again. Sorry about getting emotional. It just means a lot to me. All right, guys, so if you like this content, please hit that thumbs up button on the bottom and that notification button with the bell so you guys can be notified every time I upload. All right, guys, thanks for being here with Create with Linda, and next week will be another Talk About It Tuesday. Hopefully I won't be boring, but that's okay. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.